Hello everyone, Father Lamb here from Queenship of Mary Parish. Welcome. Everything's messed up, but everything's okay. Everything's messed up, but everything's okay. Everything's messed up. Coronavirus is still here. People are getting sick. Some people are dying. Some people aren't practicing social distancing or wearing their masks or wondering when we're going to get back to normal. Everything is messed up, but everything's okay. Jesus Christ suffered and died and rose from the dead. He's freed us from our sins. He's opened up the gates of heaven. He wants all of us to go to heaven. Everything is okay. Everything's messed up, and everything is okay. Everything's messed up. Our kids are going back to school in September. What's it going to look like? They're going to be part at home, part in the school building? Are sports ever going to start? Are we going to be working from home? Are we going to be working in our workplace? Everything is all messed up, but everything's okay. Jesus is here. God's in control. We need to put our trust in Him and turn to Him and invite Him into the equation. Everything's okay. Everything's messed up, and everything is okay. Everything's messed up. So much strife in our world and violence, people not getting along, people screaming at each other, liberal and conservative. Nobody really listens to each other, just shouting at each other. Everything is messed up. But everything's okay. God is listening. We just need to turn to Him and invite Him into the equation. We separate ourselves from Him, everything's messed up. We invite Him into the equation, experience His peace and His calm in our lives, everything's okay. Everything's messed up, and everything is okay. Everything's messed up. This is a really imperfect world, sinful, broken, vulnerable, wounded. Everything is messed up, but everything's okay. Jesus Christ suffered and died, and by His wounds, we are healed. He's taken on our sins and our wounds upon Himself. Everything is okay. Everything's messed up, and everything is okay. It's kind of like before us, there are two pools, if you will. And one of these pools is the pool of everything's messed up, and the other pool is the pool of everything's okay. And in the pool of everything's messed up, we have disunity, disharmony, accusations, screaming at each other, violence. We really don't know how to deal with anger or conflict in our culture. Everything's messed up in that pool. And you and I can jump into that pool and we can drown in a minute and completely lose our spirituality. Everything is messed up in that pool. In the other pool, everything's okay, is really God. Because that's the pool of our baptismal promises, that we've been washed away of our sins, and the Prince of Peace, Jesus, wants to give us His peace, His calm. He wants to give us His love. He wants us to live in faith, and everything's okay in that pool. So my brothers and sisters, every day we wake up, and many times during the day, you and I can choose between those two pools. We can dive into the pool of everything's messed up, and we'll really be right in all that messed upness. Or we can dive into the pool of everything's okay by having faith and trust in God. If you were thrown out in the middle of an ocean with no tube or life-saving device at all, if you were to try to paddle for a while, tread water for a while, you try to swim, in a very short time, you're going to get tired and you're going to drown. But if you get thrown into that same ocean, and instead of fighting it, you just kick back and you float and trust the waves, the water to take you to where it's going to take you, you could stay on that water for a very long time. And trusting in God means to trust Him, just that. It means that the God who made everything in this universe and made you and made me, the God who made all of this and wants all of us to go to heaven, He's in control, and we can trust the currents of life. And a lot of times when we fight the currents of life and start fighting against it and swimming against it, we get exhausted. And there's so many of us in this culture that are exhausted, and that's all messed up. But if we kick back and float and say, God, wherever you take me on this current, I'm going to trust you, we're going to be fine. That the God who made us is going to take us right to a great destination, and all is going to be well, that everything is okay. So my brothers and sisters, there it is before us. Everything is messed up, but everything's okay. The question is, what pool are you and I going to dive into? We can dive into the pool of everything's messed up, and we become messed up. Or we can dive into the pool of God's grace and allow him to take us on the currents of his love. That's our choice. Everything's messed up, but everything is okay. God bless you.